What's up, Juventini? Welcome back to the AJC, your channel dedicated to Juventus. Holy smokes, are you not entertained? Juve is fun to watch again. An absolute thrashing to Cremonese. All right, giving them the big fat day. Loved every second of it. And we got a lot of fun because there's a lot of topics to touch on in the aftermath of this one. And the main question everybody finds themselves in limbo on: are Juve contenders? Is this thing the real deal? Just a good run against lowly opposition. We're going to tackle it all together with Trim and Nick Rossi. Boys, how you doing? Trim, how you doing, brother?
Doing well. Victory show, and a big victory show. So looking forward to tackling it. And dare I say, is Juve back? I don't know. I guess we'll break it down in this episode, and we'll see what
something's back. Goals are back, baby. I'll take those. When's the last time we saw 5? Holy smokes! No kidding. Loved it. Nick, how you doing, brother?
5-0, dude. I'm great. We got 5 goals and almost got Coop Miners and Spalletti making out in the sidelines. Like, everything's great, dude. You know.
Oh yeah, man. He went. Yeah.
That clip is so funny.
A little too seductive for my liking, you know. Look me in my eyes, damn it. Look at me. That smile from Coop. Holy shit. We thought Motta and Coop Miners were in love. Whew. Spalletti, man, I tell you, there's one thing he's got going is these guys are backing him. This team's united, and you could tell the vibes are all around it. It's working so far, but we're going to have fun tackling this one. There was a lot of positives out of this one, and surprisingly, Berto's got a flop, though, still in this game, and I'm going to touch on it. I still have a flop in this game, and I'm going to touch on it. It's great to see you all in here, the Army. We got Frankie the Worst, Davide Caruso, great seeing his Artwork Music, Cugino Eddie. We've got Cugino Vinny, a lot of Cuginos in here, okay? Adam Khan, Alex Juve, David Tamazia, great to see you all. Drop a like, subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. If you're tuning in from X or another social platform, get over to YouTube, hit that subscribe button. We've got kit giveaways every month, and you're not going to want to miss this month's, okay? And we're already halfway through the month, so it's not far off. And then we get to February's kit giveaways. Guys, it pays to subscribe, so smash that subscribe button, smash the likes. Without further ado, let's get into this thing. We do have some headlines that we'll tackle in the aftermath, okay? But really, not that big in the news. The same thing is going on in the news, and that's that the Chihuahuas are starting to chirp. They're starting to chirp. They're starting to beak. And why? Because they feel the heat, baby. Juve. Is Juve back? Let's get into this game, okay? So you get your starting 11, and it was exactly the same. Exactly the same as what we just went out with last time, and we talked about it in the pregame show. No mistakes there. I think that's the right call. That's exactly how you follow it up. Just keep rolling with it. You've got Di Gregorio, Kalulu, Bremer, Kelly locking things down at the back, and then across the middle, McKennie, Locatelli, Thuram, Cambiaso, and again, Chico not in there for the squad list, so you've got Miretti with Yildiz, and then Jonathan David continuing up top. Absolutely no issues with that starting 11. You guys, anything like that's probably exactly what you need to go with right now in this game. Jagrova still not 100%. Colt Miners or Kelly back there. Kelly's been doing well, right? And Bremer's back. I mean,
solid.
There was nothing I would have changed. Guys on the same page with that one? Lineup was good to go?
Yeah.
It was good to
go.
People
trying to give Big Mac some shit for starting that game again, but I don't know. He had a fucking great game. So
show me who. Show me his face. Show me his face.
I would love to. I don't want to see what they look like. You kidding me?
I will Pachanushkafo, okay? Listen, from the outside, this guy's never been a problem, but it's crazy what actually happens with McKennie from that position, and we'll get into it in this game because the guy's all over the place. Like, he's just rogue. There is no position for McKennie, okay? You look at his heat map, you couldn't pick out where the hell he started that game. Guy's all over the place, so we'll talk about it. But, yeah, great stuff from lineup, and there was no changes necessary, and they proved that. one thing that has become consistent that I'm going to touch on before we even get into these highlights, we keep starting right off the hop with the right attitude and approach. Like, that whistle's going, and these guys are all guns blazing, legs moving, like full go, and I love it. I love every second. That's exactly what you want to do against opposition like that, is go right at them and make them feel the heat right out of the gate. So I've loved it, and I've seen that now. That's what, 4 matches consecutively that were just right off the hop, got the legs going. So I loved it. And they get rewarded very early, 5 minutes in. David pounces on a bad giveaway and hits the post with that one. That would have been a hell of a start 5 minutes in, but it's okay. We don't have to wait that long. And Miretti's so damn good, he's hitting it off people's heads and scoring goals, okay? Because we get a foul on Yildiz out towards the left byline. He actually puts a cross in. It's headed clear. Miretti smashes this thing on the volley. It was probably going wide, but it hits Bremer's big dome there and just deflects right into the short side. Love it. I don't care how they go in. Get in there, okay? Absolutely loved it. And it was nice to see Bremer. He gets credit for the goal. Maas is happy because he called a Bremer header. Not quite the way he probably anticipated it, but hey, he gets the point on that prediction for that one. So we're out of the gates running, okay? 1-0, loved it. Now, you don't even have to wait long again for the second one. And I gotta say, man, Locatelli's left-footed one-touch pass breaks this whole thing wide open, and then he finds Thuram, and it's off to the races. Thuram blazing up the pitch. The seas just parted ways for him. Baskiroto's out watching David, and then all of a sudden, you got 2 defenders going out wide, and they just gave him the entire lane, and he did what he had to do. He took it the entire length of the field until the lane got closed, slots it over to David. That's a nice finish. That's the David you're accustomed to seeing if you've been following him before, okay? One quick settle, and then boom. Nice finish. And what the hell? The whip! Cracking the whip, boys. I like it, okay? David, Thuram, Kalulu, crack that whip. Let's go, baby. That was a nice goal. That was a nice goal, boys. Nice finish.
Yeah, shout out Johnny Calabrese, man. He had to finish that one, but hey, credit to Thuram on that pass because he waited for the perfect opportunity for the defender to close in on him to just settle that ball down for David. And I mean, those are the chances you got to bury.
Man, I loved it. What a start. What a start. I almost just said, guys, I got to leave at work. I was like, no, I got to fire up alive. I got to get into this game and just leave. But obviously, that's not the case. Now, 23rd minute. Ball into our area all of a sudden. I didn't like how much space we got there. Locatelli steps in there. And we got a PK. But hold on a second, because VAR steps in, and then they take it back. Look, when things are going your way, even Spalletti has reversed the VAR mojo, for Christ's sake. Listen, we've got a write-up from our AJC official, and he's got it right here. I'll be honest, when the referee went to review this, I thought it was being reviewed for a red card for Locatelli. In 2026, playing the ball first does not automatically annul a foul. When a player goes for a slide tackle and shows studs, they have a responsibility for the opponent's safety on the follow-through. Studs that high on an opponent planted leg is often considered dangerous. Again, it does not matter if Locatelli got the ball first. The only argument that helps Locatelli is that the tackle was not very intense. We can all sit here and argue every last detail, but one thing remains clear to me. The referee called a penalty on the field. This was not a clear and obvious error where VAR should have gotten involved. Juve get extremely fortunate on this one. Was it a PK in your opinion?
I want to say no because I don't remember who it was, Vardy maybe. He tackled. He didn't even have control of the ball. He probably wasn't even going to get there. And Locatelli obviously got the ball first, and then you could see him kind of pull back, like his legs kind of, he didn't want to extend and make more, contact with him. So there wasn't much in it. Like, I understand the concern, and that is, studs were up a little bit and blah blah blah. But at the end of the day, I saw that and immediately disagreed with that, initial call on the ref.
Yeah,
From
it
the
was
referee.
Janssen in there on the play, but yeah, I kind of feel the same way. But Trim, was it a PK for you?
Well, so we've seen this many times where a situation like that, it's 50-50, and not to be that guy, but when it's Juventus, it's always gone the way of the opposite side, meaning that they would have given the PK. So I was actually really surprised that they, first of all, went to VAR to check it. Like, I'm sure if we tried to keep track of the stats, like, I don't even remember the last time that, like, we've had something go against us and they've gone to VAR to check it and then call it for us, saying, like, no, it's all good. Like, we very rarely, if at all, get those calls. So I think just all in all, it was like, that was kind of not the symbolism of the game, because obviously the way that we played overall dictated how the game went. But that was like, okay, if like everything's going Juve's way today, and like that was just the
I disagree with the AJC arbitro on this one, because on live watch it feels like he went through him, and I was like, okay, that's going to be a PK, and questionable on the call afterwards. As soon as you see a different angle, you immediately see, and this is why I disagree, and I think it was the right thing for VAR to look into, is because some of the things you have to look at when you're going to call a player on the follow through is how intense the challenge was. Was it reckless? Did he extend and actually go through the player? If you watch that play over, he did not. Locatelli actually digs his heel into the ground, and his leg never fully extends. It's always half bent, and that's why he fought it so adamantly. The second Locatelli gets up and says, I did not extend, I did not go through him. And he says, well, we'll take a look, we'll listen to it. And he says, okay, because you watch that thing, and that's why I felt it was very, very minimal. He also meets the ball first, and if you look at where his foot plants, the player actually, Johnson steps through, kicks, and they meet at the ball, and he actually kicks Locatelli's foot free from the turf, which then makes it shift. Otherwise, he actually digs his heel into the ground right in front of the ball. I thought that would have been harsh after you look at the replay. On live view, I thought PK 100%. So I actually think it was the right call and the right thing to step in to tell the ref, hey, he didn't actually really extend. It's not meeting all the criteria. Take a look. That's just my 2 cents. Now, for his troubles, David A. Nicolet didn't give a shit, and he got a red card because he was pissed. Rightfully so. You're down 2-0. He wants a lifeline. Hey, see you later for your troubles. Now, we keep moving. 32nd minute. Man, I tell you, we made this ref work in that first half. He had to be on it. Juve Cremonese, and my God, calls everywhere. David with a beautiful layoff right into the path of Thuram, and Thuram steps into this thing. Baschirotto, well, hits his foot, comes up, hits the hand that's sky high. You guys know how I feel. We saw the exact same thing against Lecce. I think it's harsh when it hits another body part and then deflects to your hand. Whether your hand is wherever the hell it is, it's pretty harsh. And if that block doesn't hit his hand, the ball just fucking probably sails out for nothing anyways. It's really, really harsh. We saw the same thing in the match against Lecce. The AJC arbitro goes, similar play, I like this versus Lecce. That was Kaba. And he says the laws of the game say usually when the ball comes off a player's leg first, it's not a handball. But if the arm position has to be justifiable, arm sticking straight up for Baschirotto is not considered justifiable. This is an acceptable play in football, correctly given penalty. I think it's harsh, but nonetheless, I'll take it. Yildiz steps up. Misses. Gets the rebound, though, fortunately for him. And people were calling double touch rule. Well, arbitro, we made him work too. He says there is no double touch rule here because if the rebound comes off the post and he touches the rebound first, it is double touch. But in this play, they're calling touch from Orero, and that's why it's all good to go. So Yildiz, He gets the call. He says, yeah, it is a double touch if the keeper doesn't touch it. But in this play, you see the keeper may have just touched the ball before it hit the post. And this was the decision on the field. And the video replays don't show any clear evidence otherwise. So it remains a goal for Juve. 3-0 at the half. Are you serious? Are you serious? Wow. Hey, we might have to ramp up those predictions now. I might have to start getting back into the 3 goals, the 4 goals scenario if this is going to keep up. So anyways, beautiful, beautiful stuff. And we're going to rip through second half because it just turned out to be the McKennie show second half. 47-minute though. Guys, what a ball from Miretti. Outside of the boot pass into the path of McKennie perfectly. McKennie gets a little fortunate on the dribble there. Puts it in. It goes off Terriciano's ass in the end. He gets the own goal. We know that's Big Mac's goal, okay? Yeah. And that's a beautiful through ball from Miretti, okay? The announcer said, very Modric-esque. Pump the brakes. It is outside of the boot pass. Modric loves outside. But, hey, take it easy. Take it easy. 63rd minute. Kalulu. What a cross, man. What a cross. And then McKennie says, you know what? You can give that one to Terriciano. This one's going to be my goal. And he heads it right into the corner, past the diving Odero. Holy smokes, that's 5. And you know what? They just had to make sure Di Gregorio wasn't sleeping. And in the 73rd, he had to come up with a pretty sharp-looking save, diving out to his right side. He does, keeps it out, keeps the clean sheet intact. Boys, just like that, quick work with Cremonese. 5-0. Vaffanculo. Absolutely loved this game, boys. We're going to get to the stats, get the ratings, and then get to all the good stuff and get your guys' takeaways from this game, okay? So in terms of statistics here, what an absolute rout. And this is becoming common against these sides, which needs to happen. But you've got 6 big chances created for Juve through 58% possession in this entire game, 18 total attempts. Forcing 6 saves. He scored 5 and forced Odero into 6 saves. Okay. They got 9 total attempts. 1 big chance created for them. Obviously stopped by Di Gregorio. Beautiful, beautiful stuff. We'll pull up the ratings here. Just use them as discussions as we move on. Di Gregorio, 8.2. Holy smokes. Kalulu, 7 with an assist. Bremer, 8 with a goal. Kelly, 7.7. Cambiaso, 6.6. Hey, my boy. How are you not hitting 7 in this game? Locatelli, 7.5. Thuram, 7.8. McKennie, 8.1. You see the goal there. I give him 2. Miretti, 7.2. Helper, 3 big chances created. Yildiz, 7.5. A goal. And then David, 6.8. Not even the 7 there. Come on, with the nice goal. The second there. Guys, there's your ratings. Went over the stats. It's time for the takeaways. Man, Nick, hit me with your takeaways out of this one.
Well, it wouldn't be a Juve game in 2026 if Cambiaso wasn't giving us a heart attack at some point. I thought early on when he chested it back to Di Gregorio, that was going to be a goal for them. But fortunately, he grabbed it, and that was that. But, Jesus, my blood pressure rose a good amount during that little scene there. But other than that, it was a great performance, very quick and direct. Just fun to watch again, thank God.
Fun to watch.
You know? Like, that's just all we want at the end of the day, you know? Just give me something fun to watch. Give me some goals, cohesion, family-esque, you know? They look like a family, you know, out there, especially after David's goal. They're doing the little dance, you know? Or was it the whip crack? Sorry. But, yeah, it's great. It's great.
It was beauty. Happy. It was beauty. McKennie gets man of the match. Was he your man of the match?
Yeah. I was actually going to just say that too. Yeah. 100%.
Yeah. McKennie. All right.
Oh,
and
yeah.
Who do you have as an outlier? Like, who do you think would have been second call?
Moretti or Yildiz?
All right. Nice.
Well,
and
I
Trim.
to Moretti.
Moretti
Yeah.
for second up. Trim, was McKennie your man of the match?
He was, and it's really hard to argue against it. I mean, I'll be the first to say, for the longest time, I was one of those guys that was like, even dating back to the summer, get rid of this guy. He's got to move on. He doesn't offer too much in the sense of production, or just like, he was just kind of one of those bodies, but he's just become the ultimate utility guy. Like, the guy can literally, you put him wherever on the field and he gets the job done. And I think the biggest thing for me that's changed my mind is just consistency has just continued game after game after game. And I mean, now we're starting to see why every manager that's ever come to Juve since he's been here throughout his time has just loved the guy. And I mean, I think it's also trickling down to the team overall. Like, to me, he looks like he's the ultimate glue guy. He's keeping things loose, and they all seem to have a lot of fun with him and the team. And it's very refreshing to see. I think yesterday's match, as well as the previous, but the last two matches specifically, if that doesn't show Spalletti that you need to keep this starting lineup and lock into these guys as it stands, do not change a thing until you start to see some cracks in the armor. Like, this is the starting lineup for me, players and formation. You got to keep it rolling. Like I said, until you start to see, or you, let's say, approach a different matchup, because I know down the line here we're going to be coming to a sandwich between Champions League matches and Napoli. Okay, you want to maybe tinker a bit, but I think this is the starting lineup with the guys. Even there's a case to be made with Chico, who's now been out of the lineup for a bit. I know, Al, you were a big Chico proponent of being in the starting lineup. I think he's lost his spot personally, and has to work to get it back when he is healthy. But that's just me. So there's that aspect,
that's for another segment here coming up. We'll get into that.
To tie into that, though, Miretti. That's my final point. Just Miretti. Like, we've been calling for him to play and get more action and game time. I guess it took the right kind of manager and play style to finally figure out that we need to get this guy in there. And he's almost a lock, guaranteed lock for me in that starting lineup. So hard to. Yeah.
Let's get into McKennie. McKennie must be renewed by Juventus. Agree, disagree?
Agree.
Yeah, I never thought I would say this, but I agree. If you'd asked me back in the summertime, I would have said let him go. Ultimately, though, I'll add this caveat. I say extend him and sign the contract, but I think he's going to ultimately decide if he ends up going, it's because it's going to be his decision, whether that's going back to MLS or wherever. But just me personally, like, the feeling that I get is, his spot is there for him if he wants to stay. But I think if he does end up leaving, it's going to be because family decision, like wanting to come back to the US and North America.
If we're talking on McKennie here, for me, this whole Juve quality thing, I've fought this fight for a while now. People that tune in have heard me say it over and over and over again. McKennie actually gives you a lot of what Juve was built on with the guys that weren't the star players, and that is 150% of everything he has. He's got versatility to him, and he finds a way to help the team. The only time I've had issues with McKennie, I've also stated I put more of it on the coach, because you're asking him to play in a position where some of his shortcomings come through. On the outside, he's been his best with us. And that dates back to the season under Pirlo, where I believe he played on the outside for the majority and was creating havoc. Actually, Pirlo, it was a mix. It was the season after Pirlo where he was playing predominantly on the outside and did very, very well. One of those seasons. I can't really recall because he's had loan spells where we sent him out too. So it's been a big mishmash. But the guy on the outside, that's where he's at home. And now with Spalletti, it's like he's got this organized chaos going on because he's completely rogue. If you look at his heat map, there is no position. It's just wherever the hell he can find space, attack it, and help. But it starts from the outside. That can happen against all sides. But listen, Big Mac definitely has value to this team. And you really have to look at this renewal, because here's the other thing. It doesn't all have to do with McKennie. It also has to do with Spalletti, if you're talking about McKennie's renewal, because you want stability at the coaching position. Spalletti's come in and done and proven something I was ready to die on a hill for, that this group is capable of better football than we have been seeing for a long time. Okay? And you look at this guy and what he's doing with these players, Spalletti and everything. You want to not take guys that are doing well under him away from him so quickly. If it's a renewal that's with money that makes sense based on our pay scale for our roster, for him, even if you have to maybe extend just a bit, I think there is definitely a situation where you should look to keep Weston McKennie at Juve. And if you find another player that you want to play on the outside that can start over him, he's still got value in this team, just based on the fact that he'll go wherever the hell you ask him to. You got to do it if you're Juve.
So I have a question. Is a fair number, let's say over under, would you be comfortable with 5 million euros a season salary? Is that like a comfortable number for you, or would you want it less than that? Like for me, that's kind of where I have him penciled in. If it's anything north of 5,
a little much. It's a little much. 5
Okay.
net. It's a little bit much, but I mean, I'm not saying you got to do it right this second, but
Right.
there might come by the end of the season, if he can reach these performances consistently and just go straight through, it might be a situation where you take that. It might be a situation where you take it. I'd like to see him personally around 3.5, probably max. And I think that's probably the number I'm looking at. But to be honest, if he locks down a starting role at that outside, which he kind of has right now, 5's not that crazy for a starting outside player that's also giving you goals and giving you this, right? So you got to look at everything. But for me, 3.5 is kind of like perfection. And I'd probably say that's the max for me. But, man, if he keeps doing what he's doing now, I would be willing to probably give a bit more. We just got to take away from others. And you might have to say some other goodbyes that'll help your salaries, right? And then, okay, yeah, maybe we're giving him too much, but you know what? You stop paying an idiot that isn't around anymore. I'll gladly give him the extra 2.7 from Milik, who doesn't even exist. I'd gladly give that to Mac, to bump him up. Yeah. By the way, it's 90% yes on the poll for McKennie must be renewed. 90%. Now, we keep things rolling. Talked about Spalletti. He's my man of the match. It's Luciano Spalletti. And I know that it just, this is more than just a flash. This is more than a new coach bump, because it's gone on for so long now. And we're seeing it get better and better and better. It's not taking massive strides, but it's getting better consistently. And he's got players that you could see getting more confidence in them. And with that, it's all getting a little bit better, step by step. But again, going back to what everybody said could not be done and wasn't being done with the majority of these same players. The type of football Juventus is playing right now is worlds apart from anything any other coach has done previously with the majority of the same players. It's worlds apart. Spalletti is doing an incredible job. He's making me eat my words, and I love every second of it. I'm at the point now where, you know what? If things keep going this way, I said that there was like one coach, maybe two coaches that if they were available, I think you should look at. But I'm like by the end of February, if things are moving the way that they're kind of looking like the trajectory is going to be, I'm at the point of saying I don't care who's available. I'm very close to making that because you need some stability and you got to lock in. But Spalletti's my man of the match because he's doing what everybody said couldn't be done and pointing the fingers at every player on this roster. And he's picked them up. And now all of a sudden, they look like a unit and everybody else is talking and everybody else is thinking about them. They're knocking on the door. You're 4 points from the top. Yes, they have games in hand above you, but you're doing exactly what you need to do. When's the last time? So everybody wants to say, it's just Cremonese. Guess what? These are the exact sides we've been drawing for years now. These are the exact games we've been slipping up. We're handling them. We're dominating them. You drew against Lecce, and Lecce was fortunate to get that draw. He's doing an incredible job. He's my man of the match. And, man, massive, massive props for him and what he's doing. So, he gets my man of the match. And Spalletti, contract renewal. Fuck, man. Get it done. I don't care. You could get it done. Juve looks like they're working on finalizing it. I say I would still just I always like waiting for contract renewals other than this one with Yildiz. Yildiz is kind of like an outlier. Go get it done. Spalletti's doing great. Miretti. Trim touched on it. Has he become one of the first names on the sheet?
Should be.
So has Miretti taken Chico's spot? Trim believes yes.
Yeah. Right now, yeah. I mean, he's performing every game. And he's doing well in the positions that Spalletti's putting him in, and the team just looks more complete with him in there. I think he deserves the time that he's getting and the starts that he's getting.
So I just want to add one thing. He's definitely in my starting 11 in terms of like lock. But what I'm wondering or kind of suggesting throwing out there is to kind of change it up to add Chico, let's say once he is 100%, because essentially they're playing in each other's positions as it currently stands. What if you move Weston back, take Cambiaso out of the starting lineup like we've all been saying he shouldn't even be starting. Put Weston back in Cambiaso's spot, put Chico in Weston's spot, and then keep Miretti where it is. So Chico can operate from the right outside, and then you've got Weston playing on the left side in Cambiaso's spot. That gives Weston the freedom to still free reign and free roam, and you can trust him defensively as opposed to Cambiaso's lack of defensive quality. At least then you get everybody out on the field, all those guys. Because for me, Cambiaso shouldn't be a starter, and I know you've been kind of hammering home lately, Al, about how it's almost like he's just Spalletti stapled him to that position because he doesn't feel like he has an alternative. Well, why not Weston? And then you can keep all three of those guys on the pitch at the same time.
I still don't believe Miretti has taken Chico's spot. I don't think it's there yet. Because Thuram had a good showing yesterday, but Miretti can play out of that midfield position and you could still have Chico in the mix, and he brings something different. And then all of a sudden you can find a shape that has Miretti in the middle of Yildiz and Chico with a striker ahead of them. That's something I believe Juve needs to look at. The other thing is Chico can play from the outside if this whole structure is going to shift into a 4-2-3-1 on the ball. He could play that outside position as well and still be given that freedom and have attack. So I don't think anybody necessarily has taken anyone's position. Miretti's doing a fantastic job though, and he's putting pressure on those other players. And even if he comes off the bench, it's a good thing for Spalletti because this guy's playing very, very good ball. But in terms of being a lock as a starter, he's very damn close. He's very, very damn close. You know, and you could see some of the shouts in the chat saying Chico versus low blocks. Well, Medetti against low blocks kind of makes sense as well. You might want to spread it all out and have Yildiz, Medetti, and Chico all there. Thuram doesn't make sense against low blocks. And that's why I'm saying yesterday we had a question. It said, who's your best 11 right now? No explanation. Just give me the names. And I fired out my best 11. And I had the back all the same. Di Gregorio, Kalulu, Bremer, Kelly. Across the middle, McKennie, Locatelli, Miretti. And Cambiaso just because there's no other options. And then I had Chico, Yildiz, and David. You can find a way to make it all work, and it is going to be opponent dependent. But that's my best 11 for this team. No explanations given. But there's going to be games you want Thuram in, right?
Yeah, it's gonna go based off of the opponent game to game and in-game management as well, depending on how the game's going, right? If we continue to take the lead early on in matches, then it's going to dictate kind of what the starting lineup remains and who comes in into the second half. If we go down early, that's when you maybe have to look at a more offensive style to try to claw your way back into it, right? So, yeah, definitely will be a game-to-game situation for sure.
Jonathan David. Is he starting to change your mind, Nick? Can you start seeing some value there?
Give me one more game. If he
Okay.
scores the next game, maybe we'll have a discussion. Right now, I'm just I don't know, but he is looking better, and bagging some goals now, so that's good to see. Looks like he has way more confidence now than a couple games ago, and I hope that just keeps building, obviously for us and for him. So yeah, but I don't know. I want to see just a little bit more, just a little bit. And then we'll have another discussion.
First time he
that.
scored in back-to-back games since like March with Lille there, but it's the little things that I'm noticing are changing. If you're talking about Jonathan David, there's obvious parts of his game that the other guys don't do. When you're talking about the link up, when you're talking about how he connects with the other players, it's night and day. Compared to what Openda can do, compared to what Vlahovic can do. It's night and day. He's starting, and this is how you could tell. It's the little things. Yesterday, when you watch him collect the ball, it's not so, like, nervous. Like, you don't feel the nerves him in anymore. Like, it's taking everything, all of his power just to hold it. Now, all of a sudden, he knows what he's going to do. He knows where he's going to go. He's spraying the ball out very nicely on passes. He's slowly and gradually getting this confidence up to the point where he is starting to look a little bit more comfortable. And that's going to be very good and very positive for this team moving forward, because one of the strikers needs to lock things down and take the reins and actually be that guy. David is the closest. With Dusan out, for me, it's a no-brainer. David is the guy ahead of Openda. It's not even close to me. And it wasn't close. Even when Openda got that goal or whatever, and people are like, no, he starts over David. I'm like, not in the grand scheme of things. Not in the grand scheme of things. So for me, David's your clear-cut number one. Agreed on that?
Yeah, I mean, there isn't enough, like the other options Openda. I just feel that David offers more, obviously, and everybody knows how I feel about him. One thing I will add, though, although he did have a really good performance yesterday in the last few matches, scoring in back-to-back games, one thing that I did notice yesterday, specifically in the second half, is he had another 3 chances on goal, and Odero just made a few good saves, but the finishing, like the end product, if he can just sharpen that up, he would have had a brace yesterday, right? So it's like, again, not trying to nitpick, but for the people that aren't really his biggest fan, that's one thing that you can point out. Not to mention that I've seen it thrown around a bunch now. He's scoring against the lesser team. So yeah, credit. Like when it comes to the big matches, we need to see him bag one. I think like he could really change a lot of people's perceptions and naysayers if he bags a goal against Napoli, as an example, and that leads to a victory coming up here in the next week. That would change a lot of people's perceptions. But it's amazing what winning and a little bit of production can do for not only him but the team in general. So yeah, it's starting to shine and show through like what we see Al per se. Watching him play a lot, obviously with the national team, and just a little bit that I've seen with Lille prior, and now you just again, yeah, it's comfort. You can see even with his teammates, he's starting to link up more, and just the connection on the field. It's just night and day.
It's you gotta take it each step at a time. The thing is that he's moving in the right direction. I get it that people can nitpick with the finishing needs to be sharper, but guess what? That goal he scored yesterday, if this is 2 weeks ago, he doesn't score that. Yeah, he doesn't even take that touch off Thuram's pass properly, and probably it might have blown by him. Might have blown by him, and his touch may have taken it down to the end line. That's the reality of the situation. That's a hell of a finish. Yeah, there's more. He probably could have finished in there, but guess what? Killer instinct and being clinical has been something that this entire team has needed to work on and get better as a group for years now. So you still can't take away the fact that he's moving in the right direction, and this is a big thing for Spalletti. Why I go back to Spalletti, him being my man of the match, is because things like this. I asked the boys on the match day live yesterday, if I could tell you, you could fix one of these three things: score more goals, the mentality, or bring in depth. Not one of us picked mentality. Because that's what confidence, that's what self-belief has done, that Spalletti has brought in. We all picked depth. Give us depth. Give Spalletti more options. And you think that that everything else will naturally correct itself, and guys like Cambiaso can't be left out there every single match without producing because the competition's there and everything. But the mentality, it feels a hell of a lot different because they all of a sudden see the results in the play that they're trying to bring in from Spalletti. They're seeing the results, so the self-belief is there. But Spalletti might have fixed the one biggest disease at Juve. And he might have done it in the quickest time I've ever seen. Yeah. Mentality. It's moving in the right direction. It's big time. Guys, I do have one flop. You ready for it?
Yeah.
One flop is Cambiaso. He's still a flop for me. There is not enough production. There is way too many errors at the back for my liking. He headed a ball back to Di Gregorio that Di Gregorio had to be sharp on. He almost handed over a goal in our area. He made countless mistakes and passes back in our own end. He blew one right out to the other sideline. Gave him a throw in deep in our territory. I don't know what it is with this guy, but everybody's moving in the right direction and he just stays here. It's not that he's taking a dip any further or getting worse. He's just not getting better. He's just not joining everybody else and making this climb. Thuram has started to. Thuram was a guy where we need more. He's starting now over the past few games. Cambiaso just stays here. And I'm not sure what it is. He might need to be challenged with starting minutes. But it's at the point where he's become a liability with some of the mistakes at the back.
Yeah.
And I see the comments there about a new scapegoat. It's not a scapegoat. He's making mistakes. One has already cost us in a game that should have been an easy win 2 matches ago. And he almost did it again yesterday. He needs to be sharper. Period.
Yeah, I don't know about you guys, but every time he's on the ball, especially when we're not in the attacking third, we're in our own area or our, defensive area, I get a little nervous. Pretty much literally every time he's on the ball now that he's gonna do something stupid. Um, and he's the only player I could say that about on this entire team.
I,
Um, I just I don't know what it is, man. It's every game. It's every game now. It's not even just like a couple times here or there. It's like maybe one or two times he's on the ball, something maybe comes out of it, something looks good, but most of it's just not good.
it,
It's
it's
just
it's
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 scary.
just not like McKennie's been a more dynamic player. Would you ever catch yourself saying that Cambiaso is less dynamic than McKennie? That's how his game has been since the Man City rumors. He's
Well, this
not
is
been
the
the
whole
same guy.
That's the whole thing. It's I think it's fair for us to kind of critique and judge all the players because, for example, you just mentioned McKennie, Locatelli, David, Coop Miners. These are just some of the names of guys that like have been criticized by the fan base at times for their performance. Now, because those guys, Coop notwithstanding, because he doesn't get on the field enough, which is fine, but those other guys have all stepped up their play.
Totally fine.
So that's why they're not getting flack or heat from fans. So is that considered a scapegoat? No. We're calling out Cambiaso or calling a spade for poor performances in general. And it's not just one mistake that's led to that. I think you guys have touched on it. It's lack of confidence with the ball. Now it's gotten to that. He used to be very confident with the ball and would make, maybe make a poor decision here or there, but at least he had confidence within himself to make a play. Now that's being affected. That's a big
You,
problem.
you can't be a scapegoat when it's as simple as your mistakes are starting to cost the team.
Yeah,
It's that
exactly.
simple. He cost us
Pretty
points
obvious
last
too.
season. He was so
Yeah.
bad after the Man City rumor. He made mistakes and they cost us points. And to be honest, since those rumors, I think there's been 3 games through that entire period of time, pretty much a calendar year, pretty much, where it was like, okay, that's the Cambiaso we know. 3 games? That's not good enough. So it's not a scapegoat shit. It's just you have to get better. So if the entire team is getting better, if Lloyd Kelly is improving to the point where people are like, you know what? This guy ain't bad. He ain't as bad as everybody made it seem. Everybody's moving in the right direction. He's got to get better. He's got to find a way to improve. And you don't even have to take my word for it. Take Alessandro Del Piero's. He said it perfectly. At Juve, you must always improve. Period. Cambiaso's my one flop because I don't feel safe or comfortable with him. I'm not. And the payoff needs to be there. If you're going to be a little bit of a liability, and I said this all the time, if you're going to be a little bit of a liability, you have to produce offensively. You have to have that payback. You have to have that reward. So it's like, you know what? You might cost us a mistake here that might result in a good opportunity for them. But you know what? I could bank on you setting up like 3 chances. Maybe even scoring one, maybe even assisting one. That ain't happening. So it's got to get better. I'm sorry, but Cambiaso needs to be challenged. And I go as far to say this. The way I'm feeling around this team right now, the biggest priority is finding someone to play that outside, to challenge Cambiaso for minutes, to get him to start to improve. Because Cabal, for me, I'm not there yet, and Kostic for sure as hell ain't it. So I think the biggest priority is finding an outside player in January. I'll be quite honest. I'm not feeling that the midfield needs work, and I'm not feeling that we need another striker. Get some help for Yildiz and get me an outside player, but I think outside player to challenge him is the biggest priority right now. I've changed my tune. You guys agree there or disagree and still see a different priority? Trim.
Well,
Sorry, Nick.
well, I was just gonna go back to what Trim said. Is that why don't we just put McKennie? The games that you want to get Chico in, why don't we put McKennie there because he can get up and down the field and he produces pretty much everywhere in the field at this point. Like yesterday he was literally all over the place. So if we can get someone up and down the field who can produce offensively and do his job defensively, I don't see an issue with playing him there a couple games and if you want to get Chico or Zagrova on the field, that option's open. So I would like to see that. Otherwise, yeah, like trying to bring in another player this window is also probably ideal as well. So
I'm open to seeing McKennie on the left. I know he can do it, but it's not the same as off the right. That's my fear, is for whatever reason, he's just one of those guys more comfortable playing off the right.
fair enough.
But Trim,
Yeah.
what do you think? Does the priority change for you?
Well, so it's funny if we're going back to the most recent Trim the Fat segment that I did, and I had said for an outlook on to 2026, I said January was defender or bust. So would that be considered bringing in a defender? It's outside player, not necessarily one of the guys at the back. If we're playing a three back, right? We were maybe thinking we'd switch formation, but I think this little run has also proved, or Spalletti's run has proved, that this is the formation we have to go with. Like, he's completely changed my mind. I was adamant about, a four-man backline. I will confidently say now I've conceded that. I'm good with the three guys at the back. We've got enough depth there that I think you can survive with those three guys. But again, we need another defender. So whether that's an outside guy to just push Cambiaso and maybe give him some time on the bench to just kind of reflect and look at his game overall and just say, like, okay, take a step back, because we saw it with some of the other guys that were struggling. They needed some time, coming off the bench, and then once they did, it's like they've almost been rejuvenated. In the case of like David, even Loka at some matches, he was taking a seat. Thuram took a seat for a bit, came back in. Those guys have all played well since that. So I think it's something as simple as just getting Cambiaso on the bench to just kind of reflect, maybe go over some things with the coaches, and just, maybe that'll help slowly build his confidence again, or even just, day-to-day practice and training, getting more reps, getting more touches. Because again, like I had mentioned, and I know Nick said too, it's like his confidence with the ball, it's showing in that, and that's a problem. So yeah, for me, it's an outside guy for sure.
Yeah.
Bare minimum outside guy for sure.
I'm thinking the same. Look, Cremonese. Statement win or just Cremonese? Are we talking Scudetto?
I mean, we're 4 points off. We're breathing down their necks. I think it's definitely possible if we keep staying on this trajectory with how things have been going with Spalletti. Why not? Why not?
I mean, I've said it a million times. You know what I'm about to say, everybody. Serie A doesn't convince me. None of these guys convince me, okay?
Yeah.
And I'm telling you, there is a shot. But we will know what we have very soon. End of this month, with those two Champions League, Benfica, Monaco, with Napoli sandwiched in the middle, you'll know exactly what you have with Spalletti right there. And I'm here for it. And I'm ready for those matchups. I am ready for those matchups. Trim, I think it's time for Trim the Fat. I think it's time for you to lay in and plant the flag on your statements, buddy. It's all yours. You got 5 today?
I've got 5, yeah. We need some like grilling sound effect, like like fresh off the barbecue. We need like that sound just to kind of go into
Nick. You know
segment.
a guy.
We gotta find
We need the tunes. We need the tunes.
figure
Nick's
it
on
out.
it. Nick's on.
we gotta
it. Don't
find
worry.
something.
out.
But,
So
all right,
listen, hit me with
yeah.
your 5, and then you can elaborate a bit. But let's go. Let's trim the fat here, buddy.
Okay, so what I'll do is I'll go 1 to 5, and then I'll just touch on each one individually. So, for today's segment of Trim the Fat, I kind of just did again a general view of the recent stretch of games with Spalletti, basically. So, number 1, McKennie is the engine of Juve, because without his energy and bite, the whole machine slows down. That's number 1. Number 2, Miretti is the missing link. Number 3, Spalletti is him. Number 4, Juve are title contenders. And number 5, beat Napoli and the Scudetto is ours. So those are my 5 kind of piping hot takes. So I'll break them down individually. So we're going back to the first one, which is McKennie is the engine. I mean, I think it pretty much speaks for itself, coming off a man of the match performance yesterday. Arguably one of the most consistent players the entire season. I mean, I think it's him or Kalulu as the most consistent. Kalulu might have the slight edge because the guy's literally an endurance machine. But hey, what can I? It's just so hard to put into words because I'm literally speechless when I watch this guy play. Like, he's completely transformed my opinion of him. I was, again, so set on the last few off seasons and the last few summers of get rid of this guy. Like, he's a liability. We don't really need him. He doesn't really offer too much. You had moments of and flashes throughout the seasons previously here and there, but not enough consistency. But I mean, what can you say about the guy? You put him anywhere and he just continues to perform and thrive. And I think the biggest reason why I'm considering him or calling him the engine of Juve is because I see the way his teammates interact with him. And how long have we been barking on or harping on that this team doesn't seem like they like each other? They don't gel in the past years. Is there locker room issues? This guy's been there the whole time. Now they bring in some new faces this year, and it just seems like everybody gravitates towards him. And I've seen clips of players say that he likes to keep things light and just like sets the mood. And it's now showing too that, with his play as well, he can back it up. And you know what? Credit to him. You gotta call and give credit to where credit's due. So for me, he's the engine. So, knock on wood, let's hope that, I know he's had injury history in the past. That's set him back a bit. So let's just hope that he continues to stay fit and stay healthy. And if he keeps playing, we're gonna be in good shape come the end of the season. So that's my thoughts on McKennie. Do you want to break this one down, or you want to go to the next one? It's up to you guys.
Yeah, I mean, we could just go quickly. I don't really have a whole lot to add. I mean, he is I stand firm. The only times I've really had issues are how a coach has used him and using him in positions that don't make sense. From the outside, he's always been effective. And I think it was one of these past seasons. It was early in the season. I said McKennie needs to play on the outside. That's his best position. And that's why coaching matters, everybody. People might tell you otherwise. There was people, when we were saying goodbye to Tudor, said Motta should have never been fired because these players aren't capable of anything. Coaching matters, you guys. Don't believe nonsense like that. Motta was an absolute disaster. I wanted the guy. Would have never thought it went that bad. It was that bad. Coaching matters. McKennie's biggest issues have been being utilized in positions that don't really make sense, or being asked to do a job that doesn't really suit him or make sense. Right now, Spalletti's making sense of everything and everyone, and it's humming. Juve is humming, and McKennie is a big part of that right now. That's all I got.
He's a big puzzle piece. And a not so big puzzle, but
it's a Big Mac. Big Mac of a piece.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah. Just a
and
big
that's one of the
right,
things
right
too.
in the
Stop
center,
showing
dude.
up a little heavier set, but I mean, we can't talk about that. Is that like he literally has been much better since they cut the weight and they adjusted his diet and stuff. And like, I mean, that was one of the things we hated about him, is when he showed up in the summer and like after the breaks and like was out of shape. It's like, dude, lock in on all this shit and just keep doing what you're doing now. We have no issues. But credit to him. I like it. Trim.
Beauty. Okay, so number 2 was Miretti is the missing link. For me, the midfielder who finally connects effort, control, and intelligence. Just strictly off of yesterday's game, 1 assist, most chances created with 3, 86% passing accuracy, 6 passes into the final third, 8 ball recoveries, 2 tackles, 2 clearances, and 100% aerial duels won, which I find that funny because he's not the biggest guy, but he's also not small. But just, it just shows to his aggressiveness and his will to wanting the ball. And I mean, I think that's the biggest difference we've seen since he's been inserted into the starting 11. We all know his quality and his skills, and we've just been saying that, he needed that loan at Genoa in the previous season just to kind of refine his game and get him some game action. And it's showing off in spades. And I mean, now Spalletti can finally look at him, hopefully over the last few matches, and just say, okay, I've got a guy here that I can trust. And regardless of if he's starting every game or not, like obviously I want him to be in there as much as possible, because again, I really feel like you can't tinker with the starting lineup if it's been working, especially the last few matches. But I know it's going to be situational game to game. So Spalletti, it's up to him to figure out when he has to make the right changes. But we got a guy, we got a player here. Maybe this makes you reconsider, dare I say, make you reconsider looking at the midfield this summer with a guy like Tonali and splashing money. Bernardo Silva is a free, so that's a little bit of a different situation. But I mean, he's really gonna have this runway for the rest of the season to really make you consider or rethink spending and dumping all that money on a guy like Tonali. Because again, that would be, if anything, if we're being honest, that'd be a luxury that we may not need. So yeah, like, I mean, he can play in his position where he is now, and then to your point out, if it's, you want to take Thuram out and put him in a pivot role with Loca, he can do that as well. So for me, he's the missing link.
Miretti is the loan spell, no doubt, had a big change. This is a way different player to what we saw previously at Juve that managed to get 100 caps because we were so tight financially that we weren't signing everybody. But like, Miretti's done well. If you're talking about Tonali's just a difficult deal in general. Would it ever stop me? Absolutely not, if you can bring him in.
Right.
Bernardo Silva, I'd still look at bringing Bernardo Silva in on a free. I mean, you're pushing the bar to the lineup. But I think in terms of Miretti, and I've stood firm on this one, if you were ever thinking about moving this guy to fund a January window, you had to be one of the stupidest people I've ever seen in my life. And I was so scared for our management that they were going to do that. And I was like, you would have to be an absolute imbecile to not realize that right now he's offering what nobody else on the team has been able to do from that position. Bravo to Miretti. Bravo to Spalletti. Okay? But he's got that little bit of flair and that little bit of like risk in his passing that you absolutely need at that spot. I love it. It's moving in the right direction. Keep Miretti, and it seems like that's what we're going to do. So thankfully, they didn't make a mistake there, because I think it would have been a mistake to say goodbye. I've got high hopes for Miretti. And Spalletti might be the guy to unlock him.
Yeah, I mean, you've been saying for the longest time, and we all agree that a three-man midfield is the best for this team. Obviously, we have a two-man pivot right now with this formation, but he's the third, midfielder in a way. He's the one that connects the pieces between that pivot and the attack.
Yeah.
And he does it very goddamn well. So, he's great. He's great, man. Super
He's
sharp
just
on the
fun to
ball.
watch. He's just a fun little player to watch, man. And it's been awesome. It's been awesome. Trim.
Yeah, and I just want to add the caveat. I do want Tonali still. I just said, hey, does it make you reconsider? Just a little devil's advocate. Everybody calm down. I still want the guy. Don't worry. Okay.
Getting burned in the comments.
Number 3, Spalletti is him. For me, I think he's becoming the benchmark every team in Italy is chasing, and it's a slow build. 10 wins, 4 draws, 1 loss in all comps. So in Serie A, we're 7-3-1. The 1 loss is against Napoli, which you could clearly make an argument and a case that he actually messed that up for the team in the sense of his decisions that game. He completely altered the starting lineup, didn't go with a striker up top, and it cost him. And I think since that match, we've been on a hell of a run. There was an early stretch there where there were 3 draws back to back to back, and we said, look, if he can just figure it out and get out of that, then we're going to be looking good. And since then, we've been doing exactly what we've been wanting to do, which is beat up on the small teams. I don't have it written down, but to my previous Trim the Fat segment, we said if we run the table in those 5 or 6 matches, Cagliari is the final match coming up on Saturday. If we said we get max points in all those games, we're firmly back in the Scudetto race, and we dropped 2 points in the draw to Lecce. We've gotten max points in every other game. Like, he's completely changed this season around for us. Since early November when he was appointed, only Inter has more wins with 8. We've got 7. So, I mean, I think it speaks for itself. Not only is the vibe around the team different, in the locker room, you can see the players are more upbeat and kind of getting along. Like, he's holding everybody accountable when he needs to, and he calls guys out and in a good way, and just tells them, like, look, I need more from you. I need better. And credit to him and the players. The players have responded. So for me, it's like he's been the breath of fresh air that we've needed for Juventus in a long time. And, I thought Motta would be that last year, and I was dead wrong. we all know how that turned out. And he's proved to me what an experienced manager, not named Max Allegri, returning for a fourth time around, can do for this squad and this team. And it's damn impressive, man.
The results are there. Nobody can deny them. I've already said in terms of play, it's night and day to what any other guy has been able to do with the majority of the same players. He is right now carrying the most points per game of Allegri, Conte, Pirlo, and Sarri at 2.27. Allegri there at 2.26, Conte at 2.25. Obviously, it's a short period of time, but since he's joined, Juve's got most goals scored in that period of time with 20 goals, fewest goals conceded at 6, most shots on target was 66, and the highest XG at 21.43. I mean, it's right there in front of you. So people can tell me that it's only Cremonese, it's only, it doesn't matter because you haven't been getting it done against those sides or any of the sides, basically. Like, in terms of what you're doing on the pitch, it's a whole new ball game. And he's doing it with the guys everyone told me it can't be done. Well, bravo, Spalletti. Bravo, Spalletti. So for me, yeah, I'm locked in. Let's go and let's create havoc down the stretch. Let's make some fucking noise. Let's push. Let's beat the piss out of these bottom feeders, okay? Mm-hmm. And then those tough matchups are going to be those 50-50s that can go either way. But I love the fact that some of those teams got to come into our house. And Napoli's going to be the first one on deck. And if you think that Napoli isn't a little bit sketched out, bullshit. They are. And it's time for us to take advantage. And that's where you're going to learn about what you have in Spalletti's Juve. And I can't fucking wait. Let's go. Keep it going, Trim. You got 2 more. Let's go. Then we got to throw in the barn.
Yeah. Okay. Juve are title contenders. And the league is starting to feel it. I mean, this weekend is a prime example. Inter, Napoli, and Milan all dropped points. The only team that managed to pull off a victory was Roma, but unfortunately I don't consider them in the race, even though they're right there. I think that they're eventually going to drop off. I don't think they have the quality. So, I mean, the rest of the league is starting to take notice. And, I mean, a perfect example is look at Conte getting the red card in the Inter-Napoli match. Like, you're trying to tell me he's not feeling the heat? Yes, they have injuries. I know that the rival fans and even some of our fans will point out, the ones that are skeptical to say, I don't want to say that we're contenders for the Scudetto. Like, I respect everybody's opinion. You guys can all think how you want, but if you're trying to sit there and honestly and objectively tell me that we're not in a race when mathematically it shows that we are in the race, then you're trying to do reverse psychology. And you know what? Good for you. That's your prerogative. And again, your opinion, I respect it, but look at our recent run of form. Look at the run of form of our opponents and our foes that we're at the top fighting and battling against, and then look at the standings and the point total. We're right there. And that's why I really believe that, Juve is contending. And it's okay to say that we are, and we should be saying that we are because we are Juventus. How long have we been harping on the last few seasons? Top 4 should not be the objective. The objective is to win. Well, Spalletti, with the team and his ideas, are basically bringing us to that. So say it with confidence and say that we are in a race and, we are going to challenge for the title. If we keep this run up, it's right there in front of you. I don't know how else to say it.
You're contenders. You're right there. Yep. It's right there in the race. You're in the mix, and until you're out of the mix, you're not contenders. It's as simple as that. It could be any team. I mean, fuck. How many IFTV videos do I need to see about Roma possibly winning a Scudetto, or fucking all these teams? They've done a video on every fucking team winning the Scudetto because why? You get into a mix, an area where you're in the discussion based on the points. Based on the points, we are in the discussion. Are we real contenders or are we just close? That's what everybody wants to know. For me, I'm going to tell you right now, we are contenders and we are real contenders based on the consistency now that has been shown over a healthy period of games with Spalletti. This isn't new coach bounce anymore. Now it's something. The team's humming. He's made sense of roles. He's defined roles. He's got players feeling comfortable, and they're moving in the right direction. fucking giddy up. We are contenders, and we will be in the mix right down to the end. I made a statement before any games were played. I said, you will not get a repeat Scudetto winner, and it will not be Inter that wins the title. So far, okay, I still feel confident in those. Fucking giddy up.
Yeah, I agree. It's like you said, too, nobody else in this league, especially right now, is convincing at all. So it's easily attainable for us to do it. And we're looking better and better every week. If you keep that up, I don't see why not.
Hey, one more, Cagliari, and then you find out. Then you find out if you are the real, legit contenders. Meanwhile, the guys that are holding it down in first haven't been able to win a big game.
That tells you something.
So keep this in mind, because if we keep beating the piss out of these games, these are the games that kill you.
Yeah.
These are the games that kill you. That Lecce game could hurt. That Torino draw could hurt. That Fiorentina game, those could all hurt. The big ones are toss-ups. They're 50-50. They're battles. They could go either way. If you can consistently beat the piss out of these bottom feeders, that's what gets you in the mix and being able to be those contenders. When you're pissing away points against these teams that you need to be thrashing, that's where you get yourself into trouble, and that's where you take trophies away from yourself. So we'll know when we play these bigger teams, we'll have more confidence in our gameplay and everything. But I'm at the point now where I'm feeling very confident, and I think we can pretty much smash that whole feeling about, we can't slip up. There's banana peel games, etc. They're starting to make light work of these banana peel games, and that's a big step. It's a big step. You cannot feed me lines like it's just Cremonese. It's just, no, we're doing it and making light work of it. Hasn't happened in a long, long time. Love it. Number 5, buddy.
The last one, I mean, it goes without saying, beat Napoli and the Scudetto is ours. It ties into the last one that we just talked about.
It's
For
a
me,
big claim, man.
that is the one. And I will, you can hold me to it. Like, I am a firm believer that is the tide turning fixture. If Juventus managed to pull off that victory against Napoli. Now, I'm also disregarding never mind Champions League, because whatever happens there, I'm comfortable don't get me wrong, I want to do well and succeed in all fixtures and go far in all comps, but I truly feel like, to me, it doesn't matter what happens in the Champions League right now. I think that we get max points by beating Cagliari on Saturday, and we roll into that game next Sunday against Napoli, 2 days before my birthday, by the way, so don't let me down, Juve, right? We're going to go into that game with a completely different mentality and a completely different focus, because Spalletti does not want to lose that match. He knows he messed up in the fixture at the Maradona. He's going to come back with a completely different mindset.
So I love the confidence. I love the statement that you believe we win that match and we win the Scudetto, but I can't feel like any one game pretty much determines it. But there's a big stretch after Napoli too that we gotta shine a light on, because you're gonna have in the month of February, the last 3 games will be Lazio, Inter, and Como, and you've got Parma with the Coppa Italia match against Atalanta to start off the month of February, coming off these 3 games of Benfica, Napoli, Monaco. So it gets very, very difficult. And then right after the Como match, you have Roma. I don't know if one game's going to decide it, but I will agree with you in a sense that after what went down, and that being the only blip at Spalletti's Juve so far, and that was the game he decided to go a little rogue with no striker.
Yeah.
And now them coming to our house after we've been able to go on a little bit of a tear, I will agree that it's going to be a big, big, big win if they pull it off and they get that victory at home. That's going to be a big, big shift, I think. So I will agree with you in that sense. Will it automatically mean the title? It may not, but it definitely is going to boost the side. I don't think there's any way around. We can't deny it, right, Nick? Like, you beat Napoli in this follow-up. Maybe I'll say this. If it's convincingly, the Scudetto's ours.
Like
If
3-0
it's convincingly, if
battered.
you beat them out of the park, then I'll say yes, I'm with you.
Yeah, I agree with that.
Yeah.
I think the biggest thing for me is we haven't beat them in the last few seasons. And now having Spalletti at the helm, like it's all shaping up to be like kind of this storybook fairy tale, you know, the ones that we love in sports, across sports, right? Like it almost feels like it's meant to happen. But again, they gotta pull through. And that means it starts from the top with Spalletti getting it right with the lineup and the way he wants to attack the game to the players. Like my boy David. If there's ever a time we need a goal from him, it's got to be in that match. It has to be in that match. And I'm willing to say that. Like, if he does not show up in that match, like, hey, I'm going to be the first to call him out. But I think that match will give us the push we need to win the Scudetto if they win it.
That could be a big one for the push for sure. We're due to smack them around and beat them up. Hopefully that's the case. We've beat Inter the first game, and now we got to do it again. Again. That one's going to be away from home. That'll be a big one as well. We've got another matchup with Milan as well. There's big games still to be played, but yeah, absolutely. You beat Napoli at home there, and depending how, it will be a telling sign, I think, of how things can go. Great stuff. Storm the barn. We got time. Let's keep it rolling. Let's try machine gun some of these. So all credits go to Spalletti, but I'm not convinced about him for the future yet. He brought the players to their actual level, but we'll need to raise it further if we want to start winning. I don't think we can make the call that he's brought them to their actual level. Need to raise it further if we want to start winning, but we are winning. Those bigger teams, let's see. Because like I said, Inter's in the lead, but they haven't beaten any of the good sides. Like they haven't won a big match this season in Serie A. So yeah. I'm not feeling this whole he needs to raise it further. I think you need to help him. And we need some depth. We need a little bit more option. He's still a little handcuffed. He's got a fucking Kostic, a Cabal, a Zhigrova that's not 100%. We're in the month of January, midway through, by the way. Let's get him a little help.
Agree.
You know?
Yeah.
And Inter's funny because it's either a loss. Like, they win or they lost. They finally drew to Napoli. They haven't been any big games, but they've got 4 losses already, too. So, hey, let's just beat the piss out of them, too, the next time we play, and we'll be laughing. Do you think Juventus' current form is due to their recent opponents, or has the team finally figured it out? We stunk against both good and poor sides last season. So to me, we've put it together. I've been, I think, vocal enough that I feel this isn't just schedule. This isn't just whatever. You could see in our play, shit's cooking.
Yeah. That's the other thing I wanted to mention, too, is like, if you take the the goals and all that stuff out of the picture and you just watch how the team maneuvers, how they interact with each other, like the important things of a team playing the sport, it's night and day compared to what we've been, compared to last year, as a whole. And it's just great to see. I know I've said that so many times, but I just can't keep saying it enough.
I guess
it just feels good.
Going back to the first one too about raising the level to start winning, obviously winning trophies. Do you not feel we could be in the top spot if Spalletti had a preseason based on what he's shown us so far, and if he was here from the start of the year? Would we not be in that first place potentially?
Well, so I raised that question, or I said that in our Army chat yesterday, and shout out John Groh, President Toronto North America fan clubs. Shout out to you. But he did say, hey, let's live in the moment. I said, no, fair, but I think it is a fair point to make. I mean, he was out there and available in the summer, and we all, well, Al, you and I, were both like, okay, go with Tudor because he had continuity at the end. He got us into top 4 at the end of the season, and let's start the season with Tudor. We were wrong, and I mean, I think I speak for both of us. Like, we were okay with saying that because of how well he's turned this around and shown. And I mean, it's a fair stretch of games right now where you can see that he's had something cooking. And yeah, who's to say that we wouldn't be right there with Inter at the top? Like, we're only 4 points off right now.
It's obviously speculative, but I mean, it's hypothetical that like it could have been, is what it is. If Chico is healthy, who do you sit, McKennie or Miretti? Neither. Thuram. I want to see it. I want to see Miretti with Chico and Yildiz out there, and keep McKennie out there.
Yeah.
Everyone knows that I don't like Kalulu, but this season he's hitting new highs since hitting that porn star. Jesus Christ. Can we get one for Cambiaso as well? Maybe he'll get back to his best. If that's what it takes, I think Dushan's got connection with the ladies of the night. Maybe he can hook up his boy there, Cambiaso. But
he needs a good slump buster, man. Cambiaso.
Slump buster. Whatever. Jesus. And no, we don't. Come on, guys. Come on. Take it easy. Take it easy on old Kalulu. They're just friends. It's clear the big difference maker in this squad these past 3 matches. I don't see a need to spend all that money on Tonali now instead of spending elsewhere. New center back and Dushan replacement. It's clear the big difference maker in the squad these past 3 matches. But what are you saying is the biggest difference maker?
Confusion.
Okay. But there's one to the point touched on previously. Maybe you don't make a big splash, and maybe you spread it out across the team. We had a great question yesterday. It was like, do you take Chiesa, Silva, and Sinisi or Tonali? And it was like you're sitting there, and it's like, man, I'd love Tonali, but strength in numbers, man. And Silva's still got a lot of good game to him, man. Omer had mentioned about taking him out of Pep's system, but that's kind of insinuating he's a system player, which I disagree because of his play with Portugal. Silva's class. If you're telling me I could take Chiesa, Silva, and have help at the back line, it's hard for me to pass that up for one player, even if that one player is Tonali, which is incredible. Because Tonali could get hurt. So strength in numbers. I could boost 3 positions and one with a class player like Silva. I'm probably leaning that way. But Tonali's fantastic. I mean, it's not a slight to him. It's just looking at the team and what do you think goes better? Strength in numbers, depth for your coach, or making that big splash? There's quality players that are on free. Silva is one of them.
Yeah, well, I think there's something to be said, too, about the possible connection between Bernardo Silva and Chico Conceição playing together on the national team. Like, getting connections and pairs of guys like that can ultimately make a difference just in terms of chemistry and the way that the team plays, fluidity, all that kind of stuff. Like, again, you may be the type of fan that thinks that Bernardo Silva is, like, kind of getting past it or whatnot, but to your point, Al, like, I think he's still got a lot of quality there, and I think that he could help, but
He's got a lot left, I think, in the tank, man. At 31 years old, absolutely.
Especially in Serie A, too.
In Serie A, especially, yeah.
Yeah.
You think Kelly will be at Juve next season, considering that he's English? If he continues like this, I bet that at the end of the season, we'll make a nice profit on him. I think that Kelly will still be here next season. I'm going to say he's still here next season.
So let me add something to this Storm the Barn. If you had to choose between one guy or 2 guys to move, if it was between Gatti or Kelly to make a sale and to use that funds to help elsewhere, who would you sell? Would you sell Gatti or would you sell Kelly?
I'm open to selling both, and it depends on who's making me more money. But I'd actually say, based on performance, Gatti would be the one I'd sell first.
Yeah, like if you had to choose one, obviously both. Yeah. Well, how about
and the simple reason is, if you look at how much Kelly has improved from when he first got here versus Gatti. Gatti took a good step forward from year 1 to year 2, and then it's plateaued and maybe even regressed. And that's why. Simple as that for me. Nick, who are you selling out of those two?
Are we considering Gatti still a center, the defender or a striker? Because if you're keeping him as a striker, then I ain't getting rid of him.
Yeah, that's true. That's a good point. He could be our Duchan replacement.
There you go. He did score a hell of a bike.
Slipping up and Openda gets hurt. We might have to slot Gatti up there, dude. I don't know.
Yeah, that's true.
No, all honesty though, yeah. I mean, based on the past few months, right now, at least I would say probably keep Kelly.
Yeah.
If you asked me that 5-6 months ago, probably a different answer. But right now, it's probably where I'm going with that. So.
Yeah.
Yeah. Am I the only one who didn't think anymore about what formation we were playing? We used to debate if back four is better than back three. Well, that's because the roles are just as important too. It's funny. I always laughed about what Spalletti said. When Spalletti said formations don't matter, it's the roles. Mm-hmm. Well, the formation allows you to get guys into certain roles. You can't have one without the other. But we also said like back four, there was a lot. I was pushing for a back four for a while. I was also pushing for 2 striker sets just to see it, to get these guys cooking. But he's found a little bit of a hybrid that's been able to work. And honestly, man, I hate hybrid setups. I hate all this, but McKennie is a big piece as to why it works. He's a big piece as to why this thing is working. So, yeah, credit to him. Credit to him. But the formation thing, I'd leave it alone right now. It's cooking. It's cooking. Kalulu is the unsung MVP of the last 2 seasons. Good at building up the play, extremely solid defensively, good crossing, never tired, and always available. He must not be sold. Thoughts? I don't think they're thinking about selling him, and I wouldn't think about selling him either. If you're playing back three, this guy's been a beast at right center back. Nothing else to say.
Yeah, I think he's here to stay. I mean, wouldn't see why you'd take away from something that's working well and a player that's actually performing. And I mean, fuck, endurance alone, like he's been the healthiest player we've had in how long.
Doing that alone at Juve with J Medical looming is insane. So like,
yeah,
that alone is crazy. But yeah, there's no need to sell him. Like, no way anybody's thinking about that. Sikoko, I love the parallel having Miretti and Keenan behind the striker form. Both are like 2 free-flowing electrons and are both creative in different ways. I would love to stick with both of them in the lineup. I mean, yeah, like I say, matchup dependent too. We'll see. Yeah. We'll see what Spalletti ends up doing. It's going to be I'm looking forward to it, but I like the fact that he's got options and we're starting to feel comfortable with all the different options. Tuna's got one thing I wasn't a huge fan was when Yildiz came off. All of our attacks went through Zhigrova and rarely anywhere else. Would love to see other guys be more dynamic so we aren't one-sided. I'll be quite honest. Zhigrova's got a long way to go for me. I mean, he brings the tempo down. He's effective, but the tempo comes down. Yeah. It's another reason why I always said like he'd have to take away from Chico, because Chico keeps the tempo up. Zhigrova slows everything right down. And it's just, he's not 100% either. So it's very hard to really judge or to call anything for what it is right now, right? But that's how I feel. It's just right now, you can't fully judge Zhigrova. It's not 100%, but it's very, very slow and the tempo comes down. I need to see way more involvement with the team, right? It feels very one-dimensional there.
It's for me with him, he is a great player. There's no doubt about any of that. The fitness thing and getting up to speed is one thing, but the other thing too is like I saw a comment yesterday. Someone said he something like he's a FIFA Street player, or you know, it seems like he gets the ball and he's like, all right, what skill move can I do to beat this guy? But like you just said, the game stops. Like he gets it and he's like, all right, let me see what I can do here and beat this guy and make it look real cool. A lot of times he does it, but other times it's like he doesn't do anything, and then we lose the ball or nothing happens and he kills the play. That's the problem I have with him, where it's like Chico's the opposite, where he gets the ball and he's like, go, 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 you know? just going right at the guy. He's very direct, very quick, and makes decisions maybe not that much faster than Segrova. You know, but a lot of people gave him some shit last year, especially with his decision making and timing to release the ball and make decisions too. But I think, Segrova's got a little bit to go to get more integrated with the team play overall.
Yeah.
Yeah, he doesn't walk. Sorry, go ahead.
What did Yamal say when he got asked, is there anyone better than Yildiz? Okay, none? Kanan. Sounds better when I say a promise. Oh, dude.
That was bad. That's a red. Yeah. It's okay. that one. He had a little stretch there. We had some good run, but some
that's
good
fucking
ones,
cheeks, bro. That's cheeks. That's cheeks, man. Holy shit, Adam. What the hell?
Back to the drawing board.
Do you think if Spalletti started the season, we would be Scudetto winners this season? It's kind of what we talked about earlier. It's a bit of a hypothetical. It's a bit of, speculative. But based on what you're seeing in such a short period of time, it's hard not to imagine that we would be further ahead with the preseason and be doing even better. It's hard to say no based on what you're seeing. So that's kind of how we'd have to answer that one. Who's the bigger J Medical legend, Milik, DeShilio, Ramsey, or Khedira? So
it's gotta be Milik, dude.
Dude, Ramsey went for international duty every time while not being able to play for Juve. Ramsey's gotta be the J-Med legend, man. That shit was crazy.
I guess
he was
so.
pulling Kevin Nash in the wheelchair where he just fucking lifted the blanks like, oh, it's international duty.
Leg.
I'm out of here. That's what he was doing, man. That guy was a mutt.
Yeah.
I'm giving it to Ramsey, personally.
Hang their jerseys both up in J-Meds, both of them, Milik and Ramsey side by side for sure.
Yeah.
Jesus.
Where is Skanga nowadays, Bert? Well, with age and great age comes the appreciation for the simpler things in life. You'll find him in a park in Ontario feeding the pigeons. All right. Yeah. Nobody feeds pigeons but Skanga. So Skanga's that's where he is, you know.
Pickleball and cultivating a garden.
You guys, we got a lot of fun, okay? A lot of fun. This is a great run we're on. We got one more until crunch time with that matchup against Benfica, then Napoli and Monaco, and then we're really going to get into the nitty-gritty on what this team is exactly about. Are Juve contenders? Hey, that's up for you to decide where you stand as a fan in your level of belief in Spalletti and the group right now through this period of time. The stats are all with it. The eye test is with it. It's all moving in the right direction. We're playing great ball. But look, at the end of the day, we're going to find out one way or another what my message is to all the fans that were trying to come into comments after I was happy. Guess what? I am going to be happy with a 5-0 victory. You're fucking right. I'm going to be happy. I'm going to be damn happy with a 5-0 victory. You want me to be sad about it? You want me to be like, it's just Cremonese? Bullshit. I've seen the defeats against a third-string Empoli side. I've seen draws against garbage teams that have no business with this Juve side. We finally have a guy that's got the team cooking and humming. You know what my message is to you? Enjoy it. Have fun. It's okay to fucking be happy. It's okay to have hope that your team is returning to a respectable level. Will we reclaim the throne? I can't wait to find out. And I'm going to be there every step of the way with these boys, okay? We've got Saturday. I believe it's Saturday, not Sunday, right? Saturday? Saturday.
Yeah.
Cagliari. Oh, yeah, baby. We're back in full effect with the Matchday Live. And yes, there's a watch-along. Look forward to that one. Hopefully we get 6 fucking goals that game. And I'm going to dish out a day for every single one of them. Let's go, baby. Juve's on fire. The Chihuahuas are beacon. And that's how you know we're on the trend back. Love every second of it. You guys, I'll keep you in the loop on the news until the weekend. As always, fino alla fine, forza Juventus.